obligation not to produce this?
I believe he is by law.
I'm familiar with the statute.
Do you know what statute?
Yes, actually, if you look in the responses to the production, it says that if you would get a confidentiality agreement and ordered by the court, we will produce it.
Well, I've seen that.
Okay.
I'm inquiring about now. That's all I'm asking is this the position that our witness is taking here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's the position.
Okay.
May I ask that you ask him to sit elsewhere because his facial expressions are very distracting.
Get your chair and sit here, Charlie.
Joe, the list that you just talked about, too, that has been produced to Mr. Canny pursuant to a request that he made because he is a party, and that's the exception to it.
Yeah. Well, I've got this document, which I'll show
Good.
in a little while, but I don't think this is the contemporaneous list. And that's what I was interested in. You make your questions and we'll Now, did you mail out an absentee ballot to each person who requested one by telephone?
Either myself or Diane.
And you kept the log as required by law as to the name and date and
We did.
whom. Do you have a record of the number of absentee ballots that were picked up by someone other than the absentee voter?
Yes, I did.
And where's that?
That's in this material.
Okay. Can you show us that log?
You didn't ask about a log, you said a record.
The record.
Okay, there's individual requests. They fill out a request.
You've got that
I
here?
have them. Well, if I may have them, unless you didn't ask for them. Want to take a break? I gotta-
Yeah,
I think I'll go get it.
take a break, take a look. It's back there.
So you can go off the record then. Can we make copies of this for the record? This will be plaintiff's exhibit 10th.
Yeah.
Okay, and just for the record, we're running exhibits sequentially from the very first exhibit in other depositions, just so the court reporter knows it. You're not looking for 1 through 9. Your copy started with 10 here.
Mr. Henderson, I wish you would to examine what's now been marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 10. While you're looking at it, you can make out your exhibit. This is a composite exhibit of requests for absentee ballots, if I said it correctly, Mr. Henderson.
This is absentee ballot request forms.
Yes.
Let's do this. We'll make a copy of the originals so that you can put the exhibit mark on copy so the city can retain the originals. We'll do that at the first break.
That's fine. Now, what are these documents?
These are absentee ballot request forms.
And is this form filled out each time a request for an absentee ballot is received?
This is filled out for someone else who has picking up a ballot for someone else. This is not filled out every time a request for an absentee ballot is received.
And is this the complete list or complete account of those persons who picked up an absentee ballot for someone else?
Yes.
And how many of them are there?
Well,
and some of those forms have 2 papers or 2 pages stapled together. Is that correct?
two.
2 of them. So,
Can we take a 5-minute break here? Just need a minute.
okay, well, maybe we can get these things copied.
Yeah, good idea. We'll give them a copy.
Okay, yeah, someone needs to.
Do you know Gloria Jean Robinson?
I do not.
Do you recall having received a telephone call requesting an absentee ballot from someone who identified herself as Gloria Jean Robinson?
No, sir.
And you have no recollection of whether you sent her a ballot or did not?
No, sir.
Now, in connection with the records, you initially stated that you supplied all the records that had been requested, and we found out, of course, that there were some records that had taken the position that are protected by law. Are there any other records that you haven't provided because you think they are protected by law or by anything else?
That just a bit too convoluted for me this morning.
Are there any other records that you have not produced?
I produced what was requested.
Well, we requested all records having to do with the 2006 election.
Let me see. I don't see that on.
Well, you want to read it to us?
I don't see it on here. I just
What?
read it to
Read-
you.
read.
I read it into the record already. This is your request.
I understand. I was just asking you to read what it says. Maybe you're right, maybe you're not. I just was asking you to read what it said. Well, I'll do it. Somewhere I've got a copy of it. Okay. The request has items 1 through 7, and you've provided all of them, is that correct?
Except for number 4, which had been provided previously.